Well, recently in New York, Luigi Mangione killed the CEO of a major healthcare company. He went on the run for a few days. Eventually, he was caught. I interviewed D.L. Hughley about this. And what he said was, I guess karma is a pre-existing condition.
If you watch any of the newspapers, any of the stories, it was about how Americans were basically saying, good. I guess now we know karma is a pre-existing condition.
You can make jokes about anything, even murder.
Yeah.
That was my whole point with DL.
Yeah.
Even the murder of an innocent man could be funny if stated a certain type of way.
I wish I had I wish I knew more in terms of what he said, but you know, there was a clip where Bill Burr commented on it and kind of went on one of his famous Bill Burr rants. And I don't know if you would interpret it in terms of funny more so than just plain truth, where he was kind of, and I'm paraphrasing here, was saying that these guys, you know, they get away with murder all the time in terms of what they do to the little man. And I don't think by any means was he justifying a murder, but he was just pointing out the hypocrisy in it.
Look, man, it's a healthcare company. Do you think that the CEO is actually sitting there trying to kill off as many people as possible? Or are they running a business within the guidelines of the business?
Okay, but if you know you know what the guidelines are. You know they're funky. You know they're bullshit.
I mean, here's the thing. I've never personally had issues with my health insurance.
Well, you got money. And people that got money don't have issues when it comes to certain
Well, but if
things.
you have health insurance, you have health insurance. I mean, I guess is there different types of health insurance? I mean,
some people can't even afford health insurance.
Well, they have Medicare.
Well, isn't Medicare kind of like a, for lack of a better word, cheaper version or like a no-frills kind of?
If you can't afford regular health insurance, you can get Medicare. You can get Medicaid. I mean, there's options.
But I'm saying, if you got top-of-the-line health care versus what you can't afford in Medicare, isn't there a difference in terms of the quality of what you get?
I can't tell you because I've always, but there are times in my life I've had no health insurance, though. You know what I'm saying? And look, I mean, you've had situations like, like Obamacare, I thought was a major turning point, where before Obamacare, and I thought this was criminal. If you had a pre-existing condition before signing for health insurance, they don't have to treat it after you sign up. So let's just say you have HIV and you get health insurance. Well, the health insurance at that point could say, well, we're not going to treat your HIV because you had it before you signed up.
As a citizen of the United States that pays taxes, you should be taken care of regardless as to what your circumstances are.
I agree. But you know what happens?
I don't know, listen, I'm not a big geologist. I don't know, but there's some countries, I think like Canada, where, see, this is where I'm a little uneducated about the subject, but in terms of healthcare, they take care of their people.
Right, but you know what the cost is for that? Way higher taxes. All the countries that have free medical care, medical insurance for all their citizens have sky-high taxes. I don't know if you heard, there was a whole thing where like Trump offered Canada to be like the 51st state. And he's like, well, I'll bring your taxes down because taxes are up to like 60% in Canada, for certain cases. So it's like, become part of the US and we'll bring your taxes down. Because that's the thing, Canada has free healthcare for everyone, but the cost is everyone pays higher taxes. So what do you want? Lower taxes or free healthcare? You're not gonna have both. You gotta pick one. The money has to come from somewhere.
And this whole time I thought Canada was gentle.
Yeah.
Nah, they fuck you with a spike bat too.
And same thing with France. France has like 70, 80%, like some crazy taxes.
They fuck you with the baguette.
Yeah. The French roll.
Yeah.
Throw a croissant up in there. Wow. Yeah, man. So that's the thing. I mean, I don't know. Like, I understand there's this whole eat the rich mentality. So when a famous person, a rich person dies, it's like, yeah, that's what he gets. But man, this guy, I actually looked into him. Like, he grew up in a small town of like 20,000 people or something, relatively poor. Worked his way up to become the CEO of a major company. He's got a wife, he had kids. Right. Like, to just be gunned down in the middle of the street?
Well, yeah, I'm not justifying it in any way, but I know, again, there are people who may not be as sympathetic to him because they feel like, for lack, maybe he got what he deserved. I'm not saying that he deserved that. Nobody deserves that. But the little man sees it from a different position.
Yeah, and that's too bad.
Yeah.
It's
it's too bad that the little man has to get fucked in such a way that they would be forced to see it that way.
I mean, I don't know. Celebrating the murder of somebody.
Again, I'm not saying celebrating. I'm just saying that
you have to look and look. Like I've had moments in my life where I've had similar types of thoughts.
We all do. It's natural.
Like when you see someone doing bad, it makes you feel a little better because you're doing bad or you're doing worse. But I now recognize that I was the one that was messed up during that time. I'm the one with the problem during those times. And those are really just nasty thoughts. So anyone who's watching this, who's celebrating other people's demise, it's almost like, and I see this in my timeline, because I used to block everyone, but now I realize I got to embrace the haters more because, they've actually helped me over time, so I don't block anybody. But there are accounts out there with fake profile pics that all they do is respond to people with racist comments. That's all they do. You literally go to their account and all the way down the line, calling black people the N-word, calling Jewish people kikes, you know what I'm saying? Calling, Latinos, all types of, whatever. And it's like, man, where must you be in your life where you actually have to get your rocks off by being racist to strangers, hoping you'll get a response from one of them, or hoping they'll block you, and then to them that's a win. Yeah. I hope I never get to that point in my life.
No, I mean, listen, some people are just miserable.
Yeah.
And that's a reflection of that. Just miserable.